In 1849, John Ruskin wrote the Seven Lamps of Architecture. At that time, Britain was in the middle of the Industrial Revolution. Cities were expanding rapidly. Factories were transforming production. Architecture was changing. Buildings were increasingly mass-produced, standardized, and economically driven. Craftsmanship was being replaced by industrial labor. And Ruskin saw this as a crisis, not just aesthetic, but moral. He believed that industrial society was degrading workers, destroying beauty, producing meaningless environments. Ruskin was not merely interested in a building as an object. He believed architecture rejected the moral condition of society. For him, architecture was ethical before it was aesthetic. So this book shaped the Gothic revival movement and later influenced the figures such as William Morris and the arts and crafts movement. To understand the Seven Lamps of Architecture, John Ruskin was an art critic, writer, and a social thinker in the 19th century in Britain. Born in 1819 in London, he grew up in a wealthy family and received a highly cultivated education. From an early age, he was deeply influenced by the landscape painting, literature, and religion. His early fame came from his writings on painting, especially his defense of the Tanner, whose work many critics initially rejected. Ruskin argued that Tanner's paintings captured a deeper truth about our nature. This idea, truth beyond the surface appearance, would later become the central to his architectural theory. So Ruskin writes at the moment when architecture is losing its connection to the craft and nature. His goal is not to teach architects how to design. Instead, he asks a deeper question. What should architecture represent? Each ramp is not a rule, it is a moral principle. Together, they form an argument. Architecture must be grounded in the ethics, not just a technique. So what are the seven ramps? These ramps are not physical objects. They are moral principles that should guide architecture. The seven lamps are sacrifice, truth, power, beauty, life, memory, and obedience. So each seven lamps represent the value that architecture must embody. Let's explore them one by one. So Ruskin begins with the sacrifice, and this is not accidental. For him, architecture is not merely construction. It is an act of devotion. He writes, architecture is the art which so disposes and adorns an edifices, that the sight of them may contribute to his mental health, power, and pleasure. But more importantly, it is not the material, but the labor which is precious. This is the core of the sacrifice. Value lies not in the cost, but in the human effort given freely. Ornament, in this sense, is not decoration. It is evidence of care. Ruskin believed that the greatest buildings are those in which time is invested, effort exceeds necessity, craft becomes a generosity. This stands in direct opposition to later modernist thinking. For Ruskin, architecture should contain unnecessary beauty, because that unnecessary effort is what makes it meaningful. The second lamp is the truth. The Ruskin argues that architecture must never deceive. He writes, there is no dishonesty so great as that of pretended structure. This is a direct attack on the fake materials, an applied ornament that hides the structure. For Ruskin, a building must reveal how it is made. He insists on material honesty and structural clarity. This is surprisingly close to later modernist principles, but Ruskin's motivation is different. It is not about efficiency, it is about a moral integrity. To fake material is, in his view, a kind of lie, and architecture as a public art must not lie. The third lamp is power. Here Ruskin shifts from ethics to emotion. He writes that power of architecture is dependent on the impression of the mass. Power is about a presence. Buildings must convey weight, permanence, and authority. This is not just about a size, it is about how mass is perceived. Ruskin connects architecture to the sublime, something overwhelming, something larger than individual. Think of massive stone walls and deep shadows. For Ruskin, architecture should make us feel small. It should confront us with something beyond ourselves. The fourth lamp is beauty. For Ruskin, beauty in architecture comes from nature. He writes, all true architectural decoration is based on the natural forms. This means leaves and flowers and organic patterns, but not literal copying. Instead, abstraction of nature into ornament. Ruskin rejects purely geometric decoration. He believes beauty must come from irregularity, variation, lifelike qualities. This is deeply anti-industrial. Machine-made perfection is, for Ruskin, lifeless. Beauty requires imperfection, human touch, natural reference. The fifth lamp is life, and it may be the most radical. Ruskin writes, no good work whatever can be perfect, and the demand for perfection is always a sign of misunderstanding. This is a direct attack on industrial production. For Ruskin, imperfection is not a flaw, it is a proof of life. He argues that workers should have freedom, individuality, and creative input. He opposes systems where labor is repetitive and mechanical. This is not just an aesthetic argument, it is a social one. Architecture, for Ruskin, reflects how society treats its workers. A perfect machine-made building is not a beautiful. The sixth lamp is memory. Here Ruskin connects architecture to time. He writes, we may live without architecture, but we cannot remember without heart. Architecture is a container of the memory. Buildings carry history, identity, and collective experience. For Ruskin, the value of a building increases with age. He strongly opposes restoration. He writes, restoration means the most total destruction which a building can suffer. This is a powerful and controversial statement. Because restoration erases authenticity. It replaces history with imitation. For Ruskin, decay is meaningful, aging is beautiful, ruin is the truth. Architecture shouldn't be frozen, it should record the time. The final lamp is obedience. This is perhaps the most conservative part of the Ruskin theory. He argues that architects should not seek constant innovation. Instead, they should follow tradition, respect historical styles, work within established languages. He writes, no architecture can be truly noble which is not obedient. This doesn't mean blind imitation, but it does mean architecture should evolve slowly, not radically. Ruskin values continuity over disruption, lineage over originality. This is directly opposite to the modernism, which celebrates breaking from the past. For Ruskin, true creativity happens within the constraints, not outside of them. If we step back, the 7 lamps of art not just separate ideas, they form a system. The lamp of sacrifice is ethical intention. The lamp of truth is material honesty. The lamp of power is emotional impact. The lamp of beauty is a natural reference. The lamp of life is human labor. The lamp of memory is time. And the lamp of obedience is a tradition. All of those 7 lamps together, they define architecture as a moral, cultural, and human act, not just a technical one. Besides the 7 lamps, the Ruskin's admiration of the Gothic architecture is central to the book. He saw Gothic building as embodying all 7 lamps. He writes elsewhere that Gothic is imperfect, expressive, and alive. Unlike classical architecture, which he saw as rigid and idealized, Gothic allows for variation, individuality, and human imperfection. This connects directly to his idea of the life. Gothic architecture reflects the freedom of the craftsman. This idea would later influence modern debates about authorship and labor in architecture. So Ruskin's ideas influenced the arts and crafts movement and area conservation ethics and modern debates about authenticity. Yet he also contradicted the later modernism. While modernists embrace structural honesty, they reject the ornament. Ruskin, by contrast, believed ornament was essential. He saw it as moral expression. His critique of industrialization resonates strongly today in discussions about sustainability, craft revival, and digital fabrication. At that time, Ruskin's ideas were both influential and controversial. Some architects admired his emphasis on craftsmanship and honesty. Others found his ideas impractical. As modernism emerged in the 20th century, many of Ruskin's ideas were rejected. Industrial production became dominant. Efficiency replaced craftsmanship. Yet Ruskin never disappeared. His influence resurfaced in the art and craft movement and preservation theory and critics of the industrialization. So why Ruskin still matters today? At first glance, Ruskin may seem outdated. He rejects industrial production and modern materials. But if we look deeper, his questions are still urgent. What is the role of labor in architecture? Should buildings express how they are made? Can architecture be ethical? What is the loss when everything is optimized for efficiency? In today's world of global construction systems and digital design and AI-generated architecture, Ruskin's voice becomes surprisingly relevant again. So as the key takeaways, let's summarize the 7 lamps. The lamp of sacrifice. Architecture requires a devotion. The lamp of truth is about materials and structure must be honest. The lamp of power means buildings should evoke emotional strength. The lamp of beauty is nature is the model of ornament. The lamp of life is craftsmanship gives architecture vitality. The lamp of memory is buildings carry historical continuity. The lamp of obedience is respect tradition and share the language. At its core, the book argues architecture is a moral act. So that 7 lamps of architecture reminds us that architecture is not neutral. It reflects labor systems, economic values, cultural memory, ethical priorities. In a time of globalized construction and algorithmic design, Ruskin's voice feels unexpectedly relevant. He asks, who builds, with what care, for what purpose? For architects and urban thinkers, this is a powerful reminder. Form is not enough. Material honesty, social conditions, and memory matter. Architecture is not just a space making, it is a world making. And according to Ruskin, the quality of the world depends on the moral light we bring it to it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this summary helps you, and hope you will have the opportunity to read the actual text and to learn more about it. And still, we are just halfway up the ladder of the knowledge of all of architecture, art, philosophy, and design. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.